Hey everyone, this is Greg Lewis coming at you from my MetaStock basement studio, aka our MetaStock temporary studio. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for our webinar. A few things I'd like to cover first. The webinar will be starting in about 4 minutes and 15 seconds, as you can see from our counter here. Today's webinar will be presented by our very own Bobby Hiller, and we'll be talking about the features, the new features and functions of MetaStock 17. So we really look forward to that. As well, there's a few things I'd like to cover. One, if you hear a snoring noise, it's because my dog is sleeping right there. And sometimes she gets a little loud. To that end, here in Utah, our local government has asked us to not go to our places of employment unless it's necessary. We can if we'd like to. Our management has decided to, since it's quite easy for us all to work from home, to continue working from home. So until that changes, we'll be coming from my basement rather than the MetaStock studio. And thank you so much for your patience regarding that. Okay, another quick thing I wanted to let you know. On the 30th, a week from this Saturday, we have our Trader Summit. Let me show you that real quick. So the Trader Summit is something we do every other month, and it includes a bunch of guests, 8. There's Steve Bigelow, Jeff Tompkins, Vince Fora, Rob Booker, Buff Dormier, our very own Jeff Gibby, and Robin Dane, and finally Eric Wilkinson, excuse me. So if you want to register for that, all you need to do is go to metastock.com/traders-summit. That's metastock.com/traders-summit. Also, if you want to, you can go to YouTube right now and find and click on it, and then you'll go ahead and be able to register. Or excuse me, if you go to YouTube, you can click on it, and then it'll remind you when the event comes up straight from YouTube. So also, you're watching today's event on YouTube. We're, of course, recording that. If you prefer to watch it on GoToWebinar, you can do that right now by going to metastock.com and go to Webinars and register for it. And you can watch it on GoToWebinar if you'd like. It's essentially the same experience. We got about 2 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure that Bobby and Jeff are all set up in GoToWebinar, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes. Thank you. Okay, we'll be starting soon. Also, to remind you, if you have any questions, you can chat here on YouTube, and Jeff and I and Bobby will all be responding to that. And thank you so much for your patience. We'll be starting shortly.
Hope you're doing well today. Welcome to the MetaStock webinar room. I'll be reading the legal disclaimer for you. Today's demonstration is designed to instruct you on using MetaStock and accompanying software plugins. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. MetaStock shall have no liability for any investment decisions based on the use of the software, any trading strategies, or new information provided in connection with the company. So with that, it's my great pleasure to introduce to you Bobby Hiller. Bobby has been a member of the MetaStock sales team for going on, I think, 4 years. And Bobby, you can correct me if I'm wrong there, but I think this is going to be his 4th year at MetaStock. What I can tell you for sure about Bobby is he does a great job. He's a very hard worker, and his customers almost love him religiously. So he's just such a nice guy. He's easy to deal with, and we absolutely love him. He's a great addition to our sales team. So with that being said, Bobby, take it away.
Well, Jeff, thanks for flattering me before the presentation today. And hi, guys, thanks for joining me so I can go through some of this information with you. It's actually been a while since I've done just a presentation on like the new release with version 17. And lately, with the markets being how they are, all the volatility, we seem to have a lot of customers that are returning or people getting back into trading that might have had MetaStock, several years ago that don't know about all these great new features that we've released. So that's one of the main reasons I'm wanting to show you guys some of those things that have come out here recently. Jeff was right. Yeah, I've been here for coming on 4 years this year. And very happy to be here. My boss is great, as you heard. Here's my contact details. If you guys have follow-up questions for afterwards, you're welcome to send me an email or give me a call. We can chat about things or go through things on a deeper level. Always happy to do that with you. Or of course, during the event, we have YouTube and the GoToWebinar chat systems available with multiple people monitoring those for you. Jeff was kind enough to already go through kind of the larger full disclaimer, so I don't think we actually have to read through this again, but there it is just in case. So with version 17, some of the highlights we're going to be hitting, we're going to go through our new QuoteCenter that we've released. We're going to be talking about the OptionScope, some of the different load times and features. I mean, this is just kind of an overview of some of the main things that we'll be hitting on, but I'm not going to try and touch on every single thing right here. I do want to try and spend a lot of time actually inside of MetaStock with you guys today so you can actually see how these things work, because a lot of the time, it's good to not only know the new features, but know how to utilize them. And though we do have like some training videos and things involved, it's still always good to go through the platform, I think. So one of the first things I want to tackle, one of my favorite new features that really helps me kind of multitask within the software, it helps people to better manage their lists and different portfolios, is our QuoteCenter. And this is kind of an overview of what it looks like, but let's go ahead and actually just get inside of MetaStock and take a look at it there. You'll probably notice right away, if you are very familiar with MetaStock, here in our Power Console that I have open, there's 2 new tabs. We have the QuoteCenter tab here, as well as OptionScope. So these are some serious new features to be frontlined here on our front page within the Power Console. And normally in the past, when you've gone like through your list and things, you've always just had this basic layout that you see right here with the instrument list, your drop downs here where you just see basically the name of things and their symbol, and that's about all the information you get to work with before jumping in somewhere else. And now with QuoteCenter, I mean, you do have that list, but you can already see from here when we're inside of our drop downs of different data, like looking at here, just for an example, like the Abu Dhabi index, it has a new layout over here. And before actually going in, if say I'm wanting to open up a list of different securities, maybe something from that market, as well as things in here, before jumping into the actual QuoteCenter itself, I can even come in and view them here in an easier to read layout, as well as remove things over here, and then actually open up the actual QuoteCenter app itself. And then once you're inside of the QuoteCenter, you can see there's actually a lot more information that's available now. not only do you have the symbol name, and I didn't actually open up that exact list, but not only do you have the symbol name here, but you also get to now see like the last tick, whether it was going up or down. You get to see the last price, the high, the low, the open, the volume. That's going to be available for everything. And some different securities are, of course, also going to show you open interest in here as well. And then on top of that, if you have our real-time software, which is what I'm doing my demonstration on today, you'll also have the different bid and ask, as well as some additional information here. And not only do you get to see this in this great layout here, but you can also sort by these different functions. So if you have a custom list that you're going through and you want to see the last, highest price in there or the lowest, etc., you can filter by these different markings up here. And then from in here, it's also very easy to add and customize your list as well. So say I just wanted to add, Apple, and I already know the symbol. I can just type it in up here and hit enter, and it just added that down to my list, as you can see down here. So really easy to add and change things. You can also use the instrument search function, which I've clicked on here, and then that allows me to go in and type and search for different things. It has different options and things in here for you as well to go through to help you create these specific custom lists. And then one of my favorite parts about it as well, I'm going to go ahead and make this not take up the full screen so we can also do some other things, is I almost always leave my QuoteCenter open while I'm doing other stuff within MetaStock, such as my charts. Let's actually close down everything I was playing in before. That is actually a new feature that I just, used there as well. The close all, and I accidentally was trying to save them all when I meant to just say no to saving them all. Anyways, then when we're in here inside of our QuoteCenter, getting back at it, from here I can simply double click to open up charts from within the different QuoteCenter. And now I have the charts back here, and I still have my list here where I'm easily managing things. Maybe I just ran an exploration and I saved that list of explorations into a QuoteCenter list here, and I'm wanting to view the charts for all of them, so I can easily jump into them from here, look at my chart. Oh, I don't really like that chart, so maybe I'll come in here and simply delete it out of this custom list, which I can save as anything I want right here. So save this as my demo test list. And now I have this available to work through on the day, and not only is it easy to access here, but I can go inside of all of our other PowerTools, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with a lot of these, and now easily access those lists from here. We've even added a custom list tab on all of these where you can go in and see the different lists that you've saved in here, or of course, it'll also pop up underneath your custom online data lists in your instrument tree too. You can see the different demo lists I've created, as well as some of my own that I just have available here. So it's really just a great new tool. I'm so glad that we actually added this in here, because it makes just navigating large lists so much easier and keeping track of everything so much easier. Does anyone have any questions in particular in regards to the QuoteCenter before we move on to some of the other new features that we've recently released?
Bobby, there's no questions yet over here on the YouTube side.
Okay, great. I see a couple of people have been just saying hello and chatting in from where they're from and things from the GoToWebinar. So I just wanted to say hi back to you guys, and thanks for being here. We'll go ahead and keep moving forward. So let's actually jump back into my PowerPoint here. So that's the QuoteCenter. I think, yeah, here we have some of those things that I covered with you guys. So it's going to help you better manage your different lists and move around. It's going to allow new ways for you to kind of rank and filter your lists very easily. And not only does it work with our online data for all you offline folks or people using data from different sources or things of that nature, you can still bring in your local data inside of QuoteCenter as well. I did show you the feature where you can open your different charts from in there with just the click of a button, and also your lists you can save. You can open up to 1,250 securities in a single list. The actual QuoteCenter is going to show, I believe it's 200 at a time on one page, so you would need to go through multiple pages to have lists that large, but keep in mind you can also save multiple lists, but that's how many you can have in just one. Also, you can select groups of things and decide to open them up as well from when you're in that drop-down center. You can almost access the quote center from every page within MetaStock. So it makes it just really easy to always jump into there and help you get through everything. So we did have one other major, I guess, tool release that came out in version 17, and that was OptionScope. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of people trading options who utilize the MetaStock software. So it was great to be able to release this feature within Zenith, like our real-time platform. We have like an options watch app inside of there where you can work with some options data, but it's never really been available inside of MetaStock. So this was actually a really big deal, and a lot of people were really excited about this. So if you haven't tried this out yet and you're an options trader, you definitely should consider like a trial of the newer version or upgrading your account as well, so that you can take advantage of some of these features that we've released in here. And same with this one, I just kind of want to jump inside of MetaStock, show you guys some of the highlights that are available with this. So let's go ahead and get back inside of there. I'm going to close this down, and we're back to our Power Console here. And let's see, so if you just click down on OptionScope right here, you can come in here and you'll see right away you already have some pre-filters that are available before you go in and actually look at the different options data that is available. So you can choose, the expiration date, filter that. Maybe you're looking for trades that are expiring soon, so you want to have your expiration within the next week, etc. Or perhaps you just want everything listed, but you want it to be really near the strike price or somewhat close, things of that nature. So it does give you some options for pre-filtering here, and then you can use the instrument search list to find different options, or of course always just type it in up here. So let's go ahead and just look at Apple just as an example. A lot of people trade that, so there's going to be a lot of data available here, and I'm going to go ahead and make this a full screen for us. So now what you'll see is, another great layout that gives you a lot more information, but now it's in regards to options. So this is all for Apple, and you can see right away it lists, you get the Greek data available for these, the delta, gamma, theta, vega, rho, all of that is available. You can even go in and edit the parameters for like dividend yield or interest rate, which would affect rho. And I'm not going to cover what each of these Greek things do or what they're about. There's a lot of information online available for you guys if you do want to look into this information, but these are great things to have available to you and to have easy access to them if you are trading options. And now it's available in MetaStock for you guys, and you can filter by them or as well by other criteria like the volume, your net change, the last bid, ask, etc. You will see you have calls listed on this side, and then puts are listed on this side, and the expiration date is listed right here. And then with that as well, we can still come into here even after we've done our initial selection from the Power Console, and we can edit the different filters in here. I'll show you, for example, I'll just click on one, so it'll pull up, only options with an expiration on June 26, 2020. And you can click through the different ones in here, or if you hold down Control and then also click on one, then it'll open up multiples within that. So that's honestly another great feature to have. If you have MetaStock real time, you're going to get all optionable instruments available just because it's powered by the Zenith data feed, which gets access to all options globally. So all that information will be here. Something that we didn't have before, though, was end of day data access for options, and we now have that for the US markets. We are hoping to bring it out for more markets in the future, but currently all US optionable stocks are available to utilize within MetaStock now in the OptionScope. But that's not all that you really get with the data too. One thing that's great that a lot of people really love, especially for like real-time users, even if you went into Zenith before to see some of the Greeks, you can still now come in and you can actually like chart the different options, and you can run them through our Explorer, or you can do different system tests and back testing against the individual option chains, which is really a great feature to have. And if you have a lot of volume on a specific options, because some are obviously going to be traded a lot more than others, and I have a lot of data loading and things going on. But so I filtered that by volume just so I could show as an example some of the ones if they have higher volume and you want to go into it. I believe actually I just opened a chart of that. Yep. So I simply double clicked to open it up. You can also select specific ones over here and then open the selected instruments or options in a chart. If I'm up at the top, yeah, I have lower volume on some of these, but then you'll see they open up just like a chart, and then you can go in and apply different analysis to them, put your specific indicators or templates on them, as well as you can save all of these too if you wanted, whichever ones you like, or even grab them this way, copy it to your clipboard, and then maybe you would jump inside of like a QuoteCenter, like we were showing you earlier, and we could create a new list in the QuoteCenter where I now paste all these different options that I'm interested in, and I make this my, Apple option list. And now I save this, and I can easily open it up in my QuoteCenter. So that's another really cool way to be able to kind of combine these features for you option traders that also want to keep a list here. And now you can see all the data and instruments from the options that you decided to pick out and monitor, and you can always easily from here now as well jump back in to your charting or things of that nature, or be able to pull them from this new custom list into your system test or your explorations, things of that nature. So really cool tools to have, and we made them, kind of work well together too, so you can do different things like this. So if you've been trading options or wanting to get into it, I mean, there's never really been a better time for our MetaStock clients, especially, if you have 17 or if you're looking to upgrade, that's all going to be available to you now. There are some other filters in here too that we didn't go through. I mean, I'm probably not going to even touch the surface on everything that's come out in the release, just because our team really has put so much time, work, and effort into bringing as many features as they could with this last release. So I'm just trying to show you guys the highlights, but no, yeah, there's even more behind everything we're doing. And if you have questions, like I said, definitely feel free to ask them or follow up with me afterwards if you're watching the recording or something as well. That's totally fine. So let's jump back into our PowerPoint and see what else we have to go through today. So here's kind of just an overview of some of the information we just went through. I think we covered most of this. You have the different filtering, the different options, how to jump through everything. You can view your puts and calls, and you can have just your like puts and calls or things of that nature too, depending on how you trade. Of course, you can almost always customize different things within MetaStock so that you're just working with the data and information that you want to work with. All right, here we go. So some user requested enhancements. We hear your guys' feedback. We have people, tell us things they think they would like to have in MetaStock, and we take those suggestions and those requested features seriously, very seriously. We always consider them. We try to improve our software as much as we can every time. Also, in case you guys didn't know, you can always email. It's suggestions@metastock.com, and that goes right to our team and to some of the top programmers who would be able to look into those, see how feasible it is to get it into the software, get it on a list so other people can see it as well, and we can get user requested enhancements into MetaStock. There were just countless new little features and or tweaks or enhancements that were made to the platform. These are some of the bigger ones that we did. So as you see, we have we renamed files and formulas in MetaStock to be more user-friendly. For some of you older users or those of you that haven't upgraded, you might know, say if you want to go look at the MACD indicator and apply it to your chart, that's listed under our old name Equus, so it's under Equus and then MACD, so you would have to navigate to like the E's to find the old MACD indicator that we created, but now we've kind of renamed that along with dozens of other indicators, files or formulas within the software, just making them far more user-friendly. Like now our specific MACD that we created is now called the MACD by MetaStock. So you can filter through to your M's and find it. I mean, tons of little things like that that really just improve the overall flow of the software, make it more user-friendly. If you're worried like it's a lot to take on initially, everything that you're seeing, I want you to know we do provide a lot of training material, and we have one of the best support teams around. I mean, our team will guide you guys through anything you want to do or learn. We even offer at no cost like one-on-one sessions where we do like a full demonstration in the software and teach you all the features. Everything I'm going through now with you, we can have, you know, someone that's even more involved with our support team than me, that knows the software, you know, far better than I do even, go through everything with you. So know that that's available, and we do. Just off the bat though, we've tried to make it more user friendly. Even if, you know, you don't want to talk to us, you just want to do it on your own, much easier to do now with these newer versions. Also, people would oftentimes, you know, maybe you want to get set up on a new computer or back up your data, and there were ways to do it before, but it wasn't always so easy to do, and we heard that. So what we did, I'm going to jump in here and show you guys. Oops. Let's go ahead and pull that back up. So inside of MetaStock, we added a main button right in here where you can go File, Backup User Files. You just click that, say where you want to save it, and hit OK. Oh, you do have to have your charts closed when you do that. That's the reason I got that error. I'll show you guys here. So let's close all. That's actually another one of the enhancements we just did in the past. When you do close all, it would ask you for every specific chart if you wanted to save it or not. And you would have to click no on every one or yes on every one and then save it. But now there's a no to all and yes to all buttons. So all your charts will just close like you just saw. That's another feature that, you know, it seems like something that maybe even should have been there previously, but it wasn't, but people requested it. So we were able to get it in there. So definitely guys, if you want other features, let us know. We'll get them in there as quickly as we can. But yeah, so now you can go in, back up your user files, select your folder, hit save, you're done. Everything that you had custom saved in there is now completed successfully, as you see right here. And then, you know, contact our support team. Let them help you put it onto a new computer, or you know, move it around, or whatever you're wanting to do, or just, you know, sleep good at night knowing that all your files are backed up and saved. Also, I guess this is a good time to mention, I know I have a lot of clients that they're hesitant to upgrade just because they have so many current custom formulas or indicators or specific charts or things that they think that they'll have to redo if they upgrade and install a new version of our software. Well, that's simply not the case. Everything migrates directly into the new version of MetaStock. And our support team here is available to help you with that and to walk you through it too, if you know, you're uncomfortable at all with that or want some assistance with it. And I think oh, here we go. So let's pull this back up. So know that too. Yeah, everything you have now, it'll migrate into the new version. Our support team can help you, but really it's pretty basic to do. Our system will automatically ask you if you want to migrate in your old files the first time you load up version 17, and you can just say yes, and it'll guide you through it. If you run into any snags, give us a call, chat live with us, we'll help you out. Another big key feature here, the user memory. Say you close down MetaStock and you had charts that you were working with, and you're consistently wanting to work with them, or maybe your dog walked past and unplugged the computer cord, so MetaStock just closed down. Well, now open MetaStock back up and it remembers where you left off, so it brings you right back there. I mean, definitely a big quality of life enhancement right there. That's kind of how a lot of these work. More responsive symbol search, so our search features have been enhanced. It's easier to access your past explorations and things of that nature as well. There's a few kind of things that we released with our Explorer that maybe we'll take a look at those together. Let's go into the Explorer tab here. Say, you know, you're running multiple explorations at a time, and you want to get details on those. You select your explorations up here, choose them from your custom list, or anywhere, I guess, down here. And now it has this little box here that orders. It says, okay, I'm doing the candlestick bearish pattern, the bullish pattern, and the ACT Mama Fama. Well, maybe you want to run these. You only want to have, well, that wouldn't make much sense to only have bullish patterns from the bearish. So let's actually maybe switch this around. You only want to have the Mama Fama no noise pop up on signal things that also have the bearish patterns or something of that nature. Then you can choose to run your results from the preceding exploration, and this is how down here how you change the order of those and how they would work and things of that nature. This was just a quick example for you guys. Obviously, you wouldn't do that with two complete opposite patterns. I did just want to show you that that's available, and then as well, we've added this report button down here, where instead of going into these in the past, you used to have to find the specific system you had ran an exploration on and then right click on it and then open those up. But now there's a quick easy button here where you can just click to open up your results from some of your past explorations or things of that nature, and it shows them up here, and then you can click into each one. So just another quality of life enhancement that's in there. You know, even for our users, if you plan to run the same explorations, use your same charts, do the same things in MetaStock, that's fine, that's great, but you can still benefit so much from a lot of these new features, like things like this, just making it so much faster to get through the software and still, you know, work with your same list, but now have them in the QuoteCenter where you can get, you know, a quick overview of your pricing and then jump into your exploration where it remembers these things and makes it easy for you to pull up your reports. So lots of big features like that we have for you guys, and we're only planning on bringing even more, but we did really work on bringing out as much as we could in this release. So it has some of the most quality of life updates in there than any of our previous releases, in my opinion, at least. So really big things there. Also, for those of you that use the downloader, there were some big enhancements in that as well. You now have the ability to go in there and actually adjust data within the downloader, as well as tab into different fields and things. I think I actually have some PowerPoints on that later on that I'm going to show you guys. So instead of just jumping into the downloader right now, we'll just wait until we go through those so we're not being too redundant here. So yeah, let's jump into our next slide here. So this is for our commitment of traders, the commitment of trader reports. These are released weekly in their weekly publications, and we have over 93 different indicators and 21 expert advisors and 21 layouts for this now. And so this now comes with our futures data that's available. So if you were been looking for this information in the past, we now have it in here. Jeff actually did a lot of work on these actually to release all of this information and to make it available to everyone. There were, you know, a handful of people that were definitely really eager to get this. So we're happy we were able to bring out some additional COT data for you guys as well. And I might actually jump onto our website a little bit later to show you guys how you can easily access this information and some other things that we've released too, but that didn't actually put inside of the software because we didn't want to, you know, clutter the software for those users that maybe wouldn't use these indicators or advisors, as well as for Elliott waves, which we're going to talk about later. But we do have a place where it's really easy to go and get those additional features and information from our website. Also, this is one of my favorites. I've had several people just call me and say, hey, I heard you guys do automatic updates now. I need to get the upgrade. I love doing it. They love having that new feature. And I've had people that didn't know actually that they were supposed to update their symbols as well. Inside of MetaStock, you have your symbol files that list all the different symbols, but often those symbols are being changed by the exchanges or things of that nature. Different securities are coming in and out of the indexes or etc. And you used to have to go to our website. We would recommend at least monthly to go on there and then download the new files and pull them into MetaStock. And some people just weren't even aware of that. It seems they hadn't read through the material saying they had to do that, or just questioned why some symbols would just not be available anymore. But now, right when you open up MetaStock, you'll get a little pop-up that says your symbol files have been updated automatically. So that's a big time saver too. Another one of those quality of life enhancements that are now available as well. So that was a really big one that a lot of people have been excited about. Another feature that we have now is for our real-time users, you can now add in the pre and post-market data inside of MetaStock and put it on your charts. And I'll show you guys how to do that real quick because it is super easy. Let's go ahead and just open up a chart of, say, Facebook here, all you have to do is right-click on your chart, and you can go into the chart window properties. And now within trading sessions up here, you have the option to include the pre and post market data on your trades. Because sometimes you'll see, for example, right here, it's like there's this huge gap. You know, something might have happened after hours or, you know, early before the market opened, and you weren't sure what happened there. Well, if you turn on the pre and post market trades and then apply that to your chart, oftentimes it'll actually fill in that data for you depending on what happened, unless there was just, you know, from the open to the close a change. But generally, you can see the different changes that have taken effect there. There are some other features and things available in there too that you can change around. But that was a big one too. You can now access the pre and post market data on your charts. So another great update there. So let's jump back in here. We already showed you how to back up those user files, very convenient new feature that we have, and deleting your smart charts too. So for those of you that don't know, we have smart charts inside of MetaStock, and basically what that does is when you're working on a specific chart, like say I just opened up Facebook, and when I opened it up, instead of just being a blank pricing chart with volume, which is normally your default, it showed the last template that I had applied when I opened up Facebook. And that's just kind of what we set it up for most users is to have. So whenever you open back up a chart, it'll save your annotations, your notes, your different lines or things that you've added onto it. But maybe you have a new way of kind of doing things, or you don't want to work with those charts anymore and you're sick of opening up every chart and then changing it to your new layout. With the click of a button, just go into File, right below the backup user files, you can delete all your smart charts. So another big quality of life enhancement that goes along with the yes to all and no to all feature that we reviewed with you guys earlier as well. I think we touched on this too, where you now have the easier to find formulas and systems, and we also renamed a lot of things so that they match up. There might have been just very small discrepancies in like the name of an indicator and the way that it was inside of, say, like the expert advisor, an exploration, and a system test. And we tried to match everything up just to make things flow better and make, you know, the software just feel more intuitive and easier to use. We did go over the feature of, you know, reorganizing your exploration options, as well as opening up reports and things of that nature. So here's some information on that. I guess we're just reviewing a lot of the information now with the slide. I kind of touched on it all. So the easier building of your list too with the QuoteCenter. Here was that slide for support for the legacy, or for some of the things inside of the downloader. So a lot of our users were using like our old version 10.1 downloader because maybe there's other platforms that utilize our old data file format that we used to have. And they still wanted to be able to work with that data. So they were back on this, you know, 10-year-old software. Well, now inside of our version 17 downloader and just the downloader that's built in MetaStock 17, it can read all the old formats. And it has the ability to also, of course, use our new and improved formatting that actually goes out to like a higher decimal point, so it's more precise and accurate, and the data is even faster with the way that it's laid out and coded. But of course, you know, if you're using another system too that doesn't recognize the newer format and you still want to be able to use it now with version 17, you can still do that. So you don't have to use a separate downloader, because some people are using, like, say, the old version 10 downloader on MetaStock 15. And so that was a really big thing to have released as well that we were pretty excited about. And here's the adjustments. Sorry, this actually looks like a bit of a blurry one here, but if you right click in on your downloaded list, you can go in and click on adjustments, and then it lets you go in and say change the different fields and the factors that they're edited or changed by, I guess here. Well, I won't go into exactly why some people would want to do that. It's not a feature that I personally use, but I know there's definitely some good reasons for how that can make things easier for you if it pertains to you. So I wanted to make sure we at least touched on it here. Also, I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably familiar with our RMO system. That's the Rahul Mohinder oscillator. It's a very popular system that's available inside of MetaStock that's created by Viratech and Rahul and his family. And in the past, we actually didn't have a full commentary set up on it. And now with like your expert advisor inside of MetaStock, you can actually open it up and apply the commentary for your RMO, and it's actually going to tell you everything that you've been seeing listed right along the side in this commentary window. So that's actually a really big factor because it makes it just so much easier to follow along and to remember the rules. Of course, there's like manuals and videos that we offer showing people how to utilize this trading system, but just having, you know, someone tell you what you're looking at here and the different information that now comes inside of the commentary. You know, a lot of work was put into adding that feature for you guys just to make things easier to use for you, help you see when things are lining up properly within the commentary. So very good system there. If you guys have been looking for another just built-in system to use in MetaStock and you haven't tried the RMO, I definitely recommend it. There's also a lot of videos on our YouTube available showing you how to utilize that system. And now it's easier to use than ever before. So big enhancement there. Another great system for you guys to use that's now included for free is our Elliott Wave add-on. We used to have an add-on called the Alpha Omega Elliott Wave, and it was a $300 add-on, and a lot of people are familiar with Elliott Waves and how they work, and we're buying the system. And not only have we gone in and redone a lot of the coding and updated it and things of that nature, but we now include it for free inside of MetaStock. And just right off the bat, it's going to include inside of MetaStock for everyone 3 different expert advisors, 6 explorations, 5 templates for the Elliott Wave system. But you also have the option, and you know what, I actually maybe even want to just show this to you guys now because it would only take a second, and I think it would actually be good to show everyone how to do. But I'm just going to go to metastock.com here. And the easiest way for me to get here, you can also navigate on the right-hand side, but if you guys just come in and type in patches in this search box here, you can go to the update and patch files page here. And now when you're on this page on our website, you can access the full like commitment of traders download here. So for those additional 93 indicators and 21 experts and 21 layouts in that, as well as, you know, there's some other things available to you here, but what we really wanted to touch on, or I did at least, was the Alpha Omega Elliott Wave. If you're serious about this system and you want more than what's just included in the software, we have over 500 Elliott Wave based indicators available at no extra charge now, 53 explorations, 27 system tests. I mean, there's a reason we charged $300 for this in the past, because it's a large system that's gonna really fully go through Elliott Waves. And I'm gonna even just go through some of the basics on it. You can get really deep and spend a long time, hours or years, I guess, even learning how to utilize Elliott Waves, and we included like the basics just inside of MetaStock and how to use them. So that is available, and I think I have some details on it that I do want to just touch on some of it in case you're not familiar. Excuse me. All right, so Ralph Nelson Elliott, RN Elliott as he liked to go by, is the creator of Elliott Waves, and he was an accountant and an author, and he studied the stock market for years doing wave analysis. And really there's a lot of other different wave trading techniques and things too that kind of piggybacked off of the Elliott wave system. Yeah, he lived from 1871 to 1948, and his systems are still being followed today just because they've had such a strong influence on the markets. But Elliott Waves, it helps you identify different market cycles using market psychology, and then it breaks that down into waves, and each wave has different characteristics and things that it'll identify and do. And again, I'm just gonna kind of hit on the basics for you guys, but we do have some better videos available online, and of course you can always learn about Elliott Waves even from other resources outside of ours, but then utilize that knowledge as well inside of MetaStock. But some of the other guys like Kelly and Jeff have done more in-depth videos for Elliott waves that I maybe recommend checking out. But the main things it has is its motive waves as well as corrective waves that are going to be your counter trend. And we have them labeled inside of the software 1 through 5, 1 being a wave starting down here, and then you're going to have 2 up here, and 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I messed that up trying to go through, but that's kind of how it works. And each wave can identify different things, but these waves can be affected based off of volatility. So if you have a really volatile security or market, then the waves are going to be identified differently than if you're going through a much slower one. And that's actually one thing maybe I'll touch on inside of MetaStock. So like when you're going in to apply, say, an Elliott wave advisor in here, you can see, based on whether a security is considered to have like high, normal, or low volatility, you're going to be able to apply a different template for that, because it's going to work off of different time frames and things of that nature, and you're going to have different signals for the 1, the 2, the 3, etc., that are popping up based off of the volatility. So you can kind of decide how you want to do that and personalize it a bit utilizing that. And this kind of shows you, so if each one of these was a different amplitude of volatility and how they work together, moving at different speeds and times. So a good little visual of that and how it works. Luckily, even though it can get so complex, Elliott waves do come with commentary. So we do have information available here that's going to help you know what it is that you're looking at on your templates and your charts. There's multiple, as you saw, multiple templates and advisors in there that you can go through to help you utilize Elliott waves now in your trading. And this is also something you can use when you're identifying these different waves or things of that nature. Just combine it with your current trading system as well, and utilize some of these really great proven methods alongside what you're already doing, just to improve your trades even further. One thing I kind of want to mention is when you are running like a scan, the different like results that you'll get after doing, say, like an exploration, it'll identify this in the manual and cover it here, but based off if you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 that's looking for wave A, B, 3, 4, 5, or C, the results of things are generally always numbered inside of our explorations. So that's how they match up inside of there. Don't want you getting confused jumping into that. So definitely make sure you go through our manual and read through the information and commentary if you guys are going to jump into this. But again, Elliott waves, it's used to identify different cycles and waves, and you can trade them differently. It all you can personalize it to work best for you. And as you saw, we have over 500 indicators with it, so definitely you can get it to fit in with you properly. And it's just included now. I mean, and our upgrades don't even cost as much as we used to sell the add-on for, depending on your version. So really, really great thing to now be included for free. And in the past too, we have included like an add-on or a new trading system with our upgrades, but this time we have multiple. So not only are you getting Elliott waves in there and some of the others you've seen, but also Martin Pring Special K. That's another add-on that we've sold tons of copies of, and we sold them at $300 a piece. And that's now included for free as well. And Martin Pring, he's very well known in the financial world. He's been trading for a really long time, founded a couple of different companies, and there's a lot of good information on him out there if you guys want to look more into his strategies. But his Special K system that utilizes the KST, or the no, and that's no with a K, as you see here, sure thing, indicator or trading system, I guess, is now included for free as well. It's a momentum-based system that's based off of a different rate of change, and it has a signal line that works with it as well. I mean, I guess there's several systems you might be familiar with, like say the MACD too. This solid line is the Special K line, and it's the blue line is a moving average off of it. And so when you get across above, you're getting a buy signal, and across below, you're getting a sell. And you can see if you kind of go up on the chart up here and look at the price, you know, when you had the buy, it started to go up, and the sells, it started to go down. But there were, I guess it's maybe a lagging indicator, because as you can see also up here is it did shift a little bit earlier and selling, but the full add-on itself actually kind of takes that into consideration to help you identify things sooner by utilizing all the features that come inside of Special K. And the main thing that it's doing too is it's using 3 time frames. It's identifying a primary trend, which you'll see here in green, of about 9 to 2 years, and then an intermediate trend that takes about 6 weeks to 9 months, and then a short term. And it combines all of those into a strategy to help you trade the best cycles on the short term, actually. So if you're looking at those like 2 to 6 week time frames for your trades, this could be a really good like swing or position-based trading system that you would utilize for that. Here it kind of covers some of what I was just saying there. So it has the multiple different time frames on the series, and then that shorter time frame is the main Special K indicator. And it's actually a great system. A lot of people utilize this. A lot of people trade just utilizing this too. And this is another really big feature and trading system that's now included for free inside of MetaStock. Just some more highlights kind of on it and how it works, showing you your primary trend, breaking it down into short-term opportunities. Excuse me. I think we covered that as well. So after you identify the primary and the intermediate, it uses the short term, and that is your Special K there. So that's kind of what all that's showing. This one as well does come with our expert advisor system too. So it's going to show you things on your chart. You don't have to identify everything on your own. It'll show you, when the green no sure thing is showing it's in agreement and it's bullish. When it's red, like you can see over here on the left-hand side of the chart, there's no agreement, or sorry, it's in agreement with a bearish signal. And then when it's black, the trend is not agreeing with Special K. So it helps you kind of avoid, where there might be some rough patches, like with the black signals. You can see there's often a lot of sideways direction when Special K is not also confirming with the trend as well, and so not to trade those. And you can get some good trading opportunities utilizing this. It does come with as well several explorations that are available with it, as you can see here. And yeah, those are the main highlights on that system. It looks like we're jumping to our recap page now. So in MetaStock 17, so everything we've talked about today has just been the new features going from version 16 up to 17. The primary tools would be the QuoteCenter and the OptionScope for better management of your list and overall portfolio and multitasking. Of course, if you're an options trader, this is probably going to be your favorite thing, the new OptionScope data, being able to utilize different option chains now with the charts and the Explorer and System Tester. Lots of new features for you local data users and those of you that like to utilize our downloader and things of that nature. Tons of quality of life enhancements, additional pre and post market data, lots of new trading systems for you guys to utilize that are very well rated, and we have a lot of information and training on them too. That's all just going to come in 17. Also, I actually debated to take this slide out, but with the release of version 17, we had also released, this is one of my older slides, Jake Bernstein Setup and Timing Trigger 2.0, and I thought, I might just leave this in here because this has been such a major release, and we had so many users on like his old Setup and Timing Trigger system that we're happy to upgrade, as well as currently we're running promotions on actually all of our add-ons, so not only Bernstein's system, but pretty much almost every single other one as well, where we have some good deals. And so I just figured I'd leave this up so you guys also knew, like, hey, we've been releasing new systems too. This is a really popular one if you're into technical trading technical systems, as well as if you utilize COT data, because he has a full trading system based off just 6 different technical indicators in here that come with, you get the initial setup, and then you get exact timing on your entries and follow through with this add-on. And as well, there's like a second part that's just kind of a bonus as well, that has additional commitment of trader data and reports, which works out well with the new COT data we've now released. And so something to look into. You can find all of our different add-ons and some of the deals we have going on by just going to metastock.com, navigating into products and then add-ons. If you have questions about that, just let me know. Another thing I wanted to cover, which you don't really find in most of our upgrade videos, because you know, we're always just focused on the most recent new features, is you know, some of you guys might have taken a break from trading for 4 or 5 years, but you're just now finally decided to get back into things with the markets being, you know, as they are. There's a lot of opportunities to make money right now. Well, guys, if you're back still on versions 10, 11, 12, 13, I mean, not only do you get everything I just talked about so far, but we also had huge releases in our previous versions, like version 16 of MetaStock. We completely updated the Explorer. You probably saw some of those features if you were working on our old Explorer in the past. We added new favorites, easier ways to access your indicator list and putting a most recently used tab, as well as new ways of being to sort and edit data. We added additional candlestick patterns. Last time too, we did add like our adaptive cycle toolkit came for free in 16. So of course, obviously 17 as well, if say you have 15. And Dave Landry's systems and more. Also in version 15, that's when we brought back offline mode, because we had actually lost offline for a little bit, but we branched out and brought in all the old formats, the offline mode, anything that you used to use in the past. Like some users had features in 10 or 11 that they didn't have in, like, say, version 12 after some big changes were made. All that stuff's back. Anything you've been able to do in the past, you can do it now, plus so much more. The software is far more customizable. I just wanted to kind of hit on some of these bullets, because I have a lot of people who are like, yeah, I have version 10 of MetaStock. Can you tell me some of the new features? And it's like, oh, I could spend hours telling you guys everything that's come out. And here's the more historical versions too. I'm just going to kind of leave this up here on the screen maybe for a moment while I see if anyone has any other questions or anything that they want me to review more thoroughly, or you guys can check out, you know, some of these bulleted highlights from our last, you know, half a dozen releases that we've had in the last 12 years or so.
Hey, Bobby.
Yep.
This is Greg over in the Control Center. On YouTube, I don't see any questions, but I do see NT Nandy said he's tried sending email to support to request giving training sessions. I assume what he's talking about, and he mentions he didn't receive a response. I'm assuming what he's talking about is the white glove service. Do you want to maybe take a second to cover that?
Yeah, most definitely. So whenever someone upgrades or a brand new user comes around, we do now offer, on top of the regular support we have where you can always call in or chat live or email us, we are able to schedule you for like a one-on-one session where we have a top-level support representative call you, and they'll generally do a screen share with you, kind of how you've been looking at my screen this whole time. You can both share with each other and then do a full hands-on demonstration in MetaStock with all the new features and show you everything. If you just sent us an email today, I'm sure you'd probably be receiving a response potentially by tomorrow. This is actually one of the busiest we've ever been here at MetaStock. We have so many new users coming in and taking advantage of the new features and things. And so we do have, I guess, a higher level of involvement for support, but we can definitely get you scheduled. One of the best ways to get on that schedule too, because it's constantly being filled, it's actually booked about a week and a half out. Of course, I would like to clarify, any day you can call in or chat live with someone and get someone within moments to speak to, and that might actually be the best way to schedule an appointment too, because if you send in an email and you send it in after we closed and they don't get to it till midday the next day, that time slot might be taken already. But you can call support or call me. You're welcome to call me or send me an email, and we can get you on our schedule. We normally do those from Monday to Friday as early as a 9 a.m., and this is Mountain Time, start time as late as a 3 p.m. Mountain Time start time. And then we'll schedule normally like a 2-hour window. Usually the session lasts about an hour or so, but we like to give them a little bit of time to call, as well as give you time to ask questions and be more thorough if you want. But that is a service that we include at no extra charge, guys. I mean, some competitors will charge, like $100 an hour to be that hands-on. And then of course we have our basic support available as well that you can get to at any time. Also it's support@metastock.com. That's the email address for them and the best way to get a hold of them. Or actually, oh look, my next page covers some of this. So you can email them at support@metastock.com, or if you have the chance, I do recommend like a live chat or a phone call if you're trying to schedule something. Just that way, no one's able to take up a time slot before you're able to respond to them or something of that nature. But you do get our free support. You get that white glove service and video training too. We have like an Unleash the Power MetaStock training module that has videos on lots of the new features and power tools, as well as chapters in the booklet too that kind of go along with those. So definitely you're going to be comfortable getting through everything, and you're going to have all the knowledge and support that you need at your fingertips, or online as well. And then I guess too, I haven't really covered the pricing on our upgrades. These are actually on sale right now. Normally, you're looking at like $2.99 for a daily charts user, or that's on version 15 or older. Or if you're coming from version 16, we give you an extra $100 off. That's normally $199, but the upgrades are all $50 off right now. So it's only $149 for a version 16 user to get current and go through and receive basically everything I covered today. Or for our older users that are going to benefit from all those additional features I kind of covered in the last few slides, you're looking at just $249 for a daily charts user. For our real-time users that get all the intraday access, that get all of the options data as well globally, you're looking at $249 for version 16 users, or $349 for 15 and older users. And if you're interested in those, or if you have other questions, or if you want help even setting up a training session or something, you guys can get in touch with me. I'll be available as soon as this webinar is over. You can call, chat, email. All my contact details are on this page. Be more than happy to answer your questions or help you out. And for brand new users, you can have discounts on like a lifetime purchase of both DC and RT, or what I normally recommend doing to get started is our extended trial offer that we're running. That's a buy 1 month, get 2 months for free. And I did include a link, down here at the bottom, just metastock.com. And then if you go /Bobby Hiller, that's me. It's going to show you like all of our different power tools and some descriptions about them, some videos on them. And you can also use that link to sign up for a trial offer. And that'll let me know you signed up, so I can reach out to you to schedule you for a training session to get you our additional like Unleash the Power MetaStock ebook and things of that nature. It's just a really good resource to go to learn more about the different features as well. So I do have that listed for you guys. And I think that's going to be it for the day. We have just a couple moments left here. So I'll leave this slide up for a moment to see if anyone else has other questions. Otherwise, thanks for attending today, guys, and look forward to answering your questions and helping you out.
So, Bobby, on the YouTube side, we don't have any more questions, but we do have a, oops, excuse me, I lost it. Sorry, give me another second. Andre says hello from London. Also, I did have a comment. Durgesh says he really enjoyed the options material and he's looking forward to when it's available for the Indian market. And also Greg says you did a really good job today, Bobby. Thanks so much.
Hey, well, thanks, guys. And to touch in for the OptionScope and the data with that, if you're interested in having intraday data or real-time data, we do have global options available inside of MetaStock for India, for the Indian markets, if you're on MetaStock real-time with Zenith. So that's something to consider. If you're just looking to use daily charts, then yeah, hopefully that's something that'll be released in the near future. Sorry, but it is available right now on our real-time platform, the more powerful platform that has the intraday data and actually additional features as well. So just something to keep in mind. I think that's everything. I don't see any other questions coming in. So I think that wraps things up. And anything else you need, Greg?
No, sir. Thanks again. You did a really great job. No other comments or questions from this end.
All right. Well, great. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to sign off and have a good day.